Hello, everyone. I think I'm finally going live at this point. I see some buffering happening, and let's see. I see some more buffering happening. So I'm going to give it a moment to stop, doing what it's doing, and hopefully that means that I'm on. Okay, hello, everyone. Welcome to Metaphysical Communion 2. Finally, after 20 minutes, I do believe that I am on. All systems appear to be functioning. And let's see. So I've been, working at this for the last 20 minutes. I wanted to start this at 8 p.m., but apparently the programming wanted to do its own thing. So finally it decided to come on now. So welcome. I'm going to text a little something here, see if I get some feedback. So I know that, I am being, seen and adored. So let's see. And let's see, just waiting for a little bit of response. So I'm not talking to myself. I'm checking around a bit. Here we go. I am live. So that's a good sign. So I'm going to wait to see if an audience is, watching, and a few of you can join in before I officially start the program. Apparently I have to start 20 minutes, ahead of time, which I really didn't do. Again, this does explain some things, but not enough. So next time I have to get on, let's say, at 20 minutes to 8 as opposed to 8 o'clock itself. Oh well. Again, the things that we learn. So I'm waiting to see if I get a response from anyone or several of you. For those of you who may be watching, I hope you're having a good evening. It is Good Friday, so it is a very solemn, day and evening. And we can feel it in the air, certainly. And with the COVID-19 virus also in full swing, we're experiencing it more than usual. So we can take this evening as a way to come together and spend some time and, just relax and connect, which is the purpose of, this program after all. And, do a little meditation, some talking. You can give me some feedback as you like and see, what we can accomplish for the next several minutes. So far, I don't see if anybody's, connecting. I've got no feedback yet, but I am live, so that's a good sign. And double check to make sure things are running properly once again. I already sent out a welcome text. And let's see. So since I'm filming, I'm going to take the opportunity to just proceed anyway and go ahead. Hopefully some of you are watching. So we are on this, holy night of Good Friday. And we're, lots of people are coming together, either in prayer, in circles, in communion, as we're doing here, so that we can join, our energies, our thoughts, our feelings, and our intent, to spirit, the higher power, and pray for the world, pray for those who are ill, pray for our wonderful providers, our doctors, nurses, medical care staff, people who are working as essential workers. Praying for their health and for their well-being, praying for those in hospital at this very moment who are going through a great deal of suffering, some who are on ventilators and respirators, as we know, many, and praying for their survival, praying for them to recover, through this. With this weekend especially being so powerful in its energy of prayer and solemnity, we can certainly come together and help, to a miracle, to happen. Prayer, coming together, intent is everything, as I've always said. And coming together in this way, we can send those thoughts, send that energy out, and be of light and help, to this world, which is in desperate need at this time. We are at a tremendous point in world history. We can consider it, a great awakening, a new chapter, a new beginning. But one thing is for sure, there's definitely a tremendous change, occurring in the last few weeks, and it will continue, for some more time. I feel that this is the point where things are going to start to shift in a positive direction. It may not seem that way at this very time because, as we're seeing in the news, more and more people are leaving us. More and more people, depending on where you are going to hospital. However, more are starting to be discharged than ever before. So there is an indication, of a change for the better. Energetically speaking, I feel it as well, even though it is a tremendous experience. And I am not, ignorant of that, is that I do see what is happening and I do feel it as well. But in the last 2 days or so, I have noticed that we've reached an area where the energies are starting to open up more to a more clearer, more positive, direction, which wasn't the case, earlier this week. It was going in the opposite direction. It was getting heavier, more negative, as we saw also more people going into hospital, be falling ill, combating, this disease as well. But now that, again, energetically speaking, psychically speaking, there is a shift. So we can concentrate and look at that shift and focus into it. And we can start, beaming our intent to broaden that energy, to help it along, to make it stronger, wider, so that we can assist in making this energy more positive, and the cure starts to happen naturally. And as science is, struggling, to find the proper vaccine, for this, or so we can help speed that along through our intent, through our thoughts, through our energies. So do, continue to be positive in that direction. Do not fall into despair. Do not fall into hopelessness. This is not the time. For many of you out there, I know it's very, very difficult, to think and feel that way, especially those who are experiencing, illness. I understand that this virus is very draining and can be very painful also. And along with that comes depression and a great sense of hopelessness, because as I've read and I have seen, many people feel that they're leaving, or they're actually, just leaving this world because the discomfort, what they're going through is so great. So for those who are surviving, those are the ones who have a light, have an intent, have hope. And they summon the courage, they summon the strength somewhere deep inside of them, to persist, to continue, to move on, to not give in, to fight, to rise up, to make the effort, as incredibly difficult as it may be. But they are making the effort to move, to do things, to not surrender, to this. And as I've noticed, those are the people who are coming out of this, or at least they're certainly on their way to coming back. You have to have courage at this time more than ever before. Again, I'm speaking only from what I've been hearing from friends, from the news, from people who are going through this experience. But I have been listening closely to my friends. They've posted, videos, here on Facebook, explaining about their, experience right now, their crisis that they're going through, their feelings or so, and saying that it's the worst thing they've ever gone through. They've never experienced anything like this. They just can't believe, that this could happen to them. And they can't believe that they are this sick. But they are pushing forward and not giving up and doing what they have to do. And as they do that, as they strengthen themselves, as they become more courageous and more valiant, they are starting to recover. They're starting to feel better. Those horrible symptoms are starting to lessen. And day by day, they're regaining their strength once again. And they're gaining their spark, their hope as well as they return. Do not give in. Do not surrender to this. Obviously, there's a mind-body-spirit connection as I'm feeling. You give in one way, the rest starts to follow. You have to do everything that you can to fight against this. I pray that, no one else, gets to this point. All we can do is pray for that and pray that things will get better, and they are gradually. We can't expect things to happen 1, 2, 3. It will take time, as I've said before, and as everyone else, the majority of people are saying as well, this will take time. It will take weeks. Right now, we're approaching the 3rd week of April, and we're in the major period of difficulty, here, as they said. This past week was the beginning. This next week also is a continuation. We have to put all of our strength into this, all of our belief, all our intent more than ever before, to help those who are experiencing this to get, through this experience more than ever before. We must pray more than ever. We must send our positive thoughts, our energy. We must help everyone that we can in whatever way that we can, through the physical, through the spiritual, through the mental. We must focus on that in order to make this start to finally dissipate, go down, to start gradually decreasing. And we will see that change start to happen. But it will take time. I feel, as I've said before, that by July, this will change for the better. I do believe we'll come out of this quarantine period, by then. I do believe that we will come back, to civilization. We will be connecting with our loved ones, once again, one-on-one, not just through video or through telephone, but directly. I've had that, knowing for the past several weeks. I'm still remaining with that. It has not gone away. So we must focus, our energies, especially this weekend, as it is High Holy Weekend. More than ever before, we are more connected with Spirit at this moment. They are closest to us, and we are closest to them. This is where we can make the change happen, where we can galvanize everything that we have and put it together and make this difference. So please, please, join me in this effort. Join all of us. There's so many of us, who are, in this effort as well. So many of my friends, who are also, posting their videos more than I have, actually. Some of them are on practically every night or every day, and they're, promoting that hope, that well-being, that courage, that strength that is needed in all aspects in our whatever belief system that you work with, to make this happen, to protect yourself, to protect your loved ones, but also to help those who are in need, especially at this moment in time. This is when we need it the most. This is what Spirit is all about. Helping one another, encouraging one another, supporting one another, bringing in the light, bringing the message of positive, of good, that there is more than this world. But we must cherish, this world also. Mother Earth is in need. Mother Earth right now is teaching us a most valuable lesson. And we must heed that lesson. We must learn it. And we must make changes that will afford everyone, the happiness, or hopefully the happiness that we deserve, or at least to get that started on the right path once again. There is a tremendous clearing happening, as we see. Sensitive or not, open your mind. You can see and sense the change for the better taking place. This is meant ultimately to correct our lives, to correct the earth, to cherish one another more and more, to cherish the earth, to take care of our planet, to take care of one another. This is the time. This is when you learn it. Start to open to this awakening. So at this moment, I do believe I have a few people watching in. So thank you to those. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Jake. I see that you are watching at this time. I don't know if anybody else is out there, but I did see your messages come through, which is nice to see. And at this moment, we're going to do a meditation, because I always like to do a meditation always. It's the best way to get more into energy and more into relaxation and becoming more present. So we're going to do a deeper meditation, this evening with me. And we're going to, hello, Ram, how are you? Good to see you, as well. And just in time for the meditation portion of things. So as usual, we're going to just relax. If you have a candle, do light it. Hello, Joanne, how are you? I see all of you as well. And thank you for joining me here. So I'm going to type in quickly so that you can get that back. And we're going to do a meditation at this moment. So thank you once again for being here this evening. So if you do have a candle, please light it. If you have some incense, please light that as well. You can dim the lights slightly as well also. And you're going to join me in this meditation. So as we do, just sit comfortably in your chair as always. Many of you already are veterans when it comes to meditating, so you know what to do. For those of you who are more new to this or need guidance, just follow as I say. So put both feet on the ground comfortably. Put your hands on your lap. Relax all the tensions, of today. Loosen your muscles, loosen your tendons. And then start breathing. As we always like to do with any meditation, we like to inhale and exhale 3 times, just to get into the zone of things. So let us commence. So we're going to inhale once to the count of 3, exhale through your mouth. Then repeat. Inhale once, count of 3, exhale, and then the 3rd time. So are we ready? Let's begin. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Visualize yourselves on a beautiful beach. There's a tremendous light. The sun is shining very, very brightly, directly overhead. There's a great deal of white sand before you. Visualize yourselves laying on the sand. Lay a beautiful towel, on the sand. Visualize a beautiful towel in floral print with beautiful flowers in all glorious colors: reds, blues, yellows, orange, purple, pink, green, any color that you wish. An abundance of flowers are depicted on this blanket. Lay the blanket before you. If you wish, lay on the blanket itself, or just lay in front of it so you can visualize all the beautiful colors and all the beautiful flowers and plant life depicted on that blanket. You look out further, you see the beautiful ocean and the beautiful turquoise waters gently rolling into the shore. There are seashells, on the sand, all shapes, all sizes, all colors as well. The waters are a beautiful turquoise, very clear, pristine. You can see right to the bottom with its clarity and purity. The sky is a magnificent azure blue. There are beautiful clouds, floating as well, very slowly in the sky. The sun beams brightly, its golden light cast onto the beach. Feel its warmth. Feel that light coming down upon your face, coming down upon your shoulders, down to your arms, down to your chest, down to your navel, down to your pelvic area, your hips. Feel the sunlight and its warmth go down your thighs, down to the knees. Feel the warmth gently go down your legs, down to your ankles, down to your feet, down to the soles of your feet, down through your toes. You can wiggle your toes and feel the energy just flowing outwardly from your toes, the relaxation, the calmness, the peace, the serenity. Feel as all the tensions of the week flow gently down through your body and outward to the sand. Let it go to the earth. Let the earth receive all of that energy as you let go, let go, let go. Feel the warmth of the sun upon your skin. Feel its loving caress, gently, calmly provide you relaxation and love. Breathe gently in this relaxation. As you lay upon the sand on the blanket, a figure in gold suddenly emerges from the ocean and starts walking toward the shore. A beautiful being of light with golden hair, golden skin, emanating the most beautiful and brilliant golden light, comes toward you and stands before you. The being smiles at you, looking like a statue come to life. You can feel the love emanating from this being's face, from this beautiful being's eyes. You feel the warmth of its love beaming upon you. You feel the goodness, the positive energy all through your body as it tingles with this beautiful energy of healing, of light, and of blessings. The being stares upon you and is there to provide you healing, comfort, well-being. They provide love to you. They are here for you to be of assistance, of help, of guidance. Whatever question you may have, whatever you wish to say to this being, please do so. They're waiting for you. They want you to speak. They want you to ask anything that you are thinking about, anything that troubles you, anything that you have questions about. Ask the being. Tell the being what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you need, what support you may have, what support you require. If you are worried, if you have pain, if you're carrying sorrow, let the being know they are here for this. They are here to love you. They are here to support you. They are here to provide what you need at this time. You can rise up from the blanket. They open their arms. They wish to embrace you at this time. If you have nothing to say, just open your arms and embrace this being. They are here for you right at this moment to give you the help, the support, and the love that you need. Embrace them. Let them love you and love them in return. You can let go of your embrace if you wish, or you can still remain. The being is not in a hurry. They are here for you. They are here to support you and to love you. Now, take a moment again and listen. Listen to what they have to say to you, whether verbally, mentally, through emotion. Take this time, this moment, to hear and to receive their response. For those of you who received a response, express gratitude. For those of you who may not have been too clear or uncertain about a response, listen to what you feel instead of just what you heard. See what comes to mind. For we all receive responses in our very individual way. Thank this beautiful being of golden light for their message, for their support, for being here with us this evening. They're here specifically just for us, just for you, to show love to you that you need. And they will always be with you. They're not going to disappear or go away after this experience. They may have been with you for a longer period of time than you realize. They may have always been with you. And perhaps this is your first time meeting. Perhaps you've been aware that you have had, this being with you, but we're not sure exactly who they were, what they looked like, what they felt like, what they had to say to you, how they could help you. This is your night of saying hello. Relax, stay with the feeling. Our beautiful being still smiles at us, is supporting us, helping us to feel better, helping us to release what needs to come out. They are here for our good. In whatever way it may come out, whatever way that it expresses itself to you at this moment, it is what is needed. It is what you have to feel, what you have to think, how you have to be. This is here to help you to release. Our being smiles at us, and now it's time to say farewell. Our being gradually starts to float backward towards the beach, towards the shore, joins with the water once again, where they came from. They wave to you. Not exactly goodbye, it's not goodbye, but just farewell for this one moment. But whenever you need them, they will be there. Call upon them, for now there is a connection. Now you know one another more vividly, more than ever before, and they will be there for you, and they will come back as needed. The being turns and heads to the water with its golden light, its luminescence brighter than ever. Their work is done for this evening. They head back into the light over the water, and they fade into the luminescence, into the light. The waters are as they were once again, the beautiful turquoise color. The sun burns brightly and beautifully. Stand, sit, lay upon the blanket once again. Relax. Ponder upon this experience. Think, reflect upon the information and the blessings that you just received. Keep it with you. Hold it close to your heart. For this is where the warmth becomes more, and this is where it will remain. And this is part of your healing, part of your support. Feel that love in your heart. Take a moment to reflect. And now, close your eyes as we start to return back into our plane of existence here in the physical world. So once again, inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, back to the present, back to where we started from, back here in the physical existence. Welcome. Take a moment to feel grounded once again, to come back so we can join together. For those of you who wish, you can certainly, express to me any experience, any feeling, any thought you may have. You can text it in, just 2 or 3 words. So hopefully you received, light, a change for the better, comfort, relaxation, clarity. You feel more present. We have those in spirit that are there with us in various forms, in various ways. They come through at different time periods as well. We have many guides, many spirits in the afterworld. Some we meet early on, some we're aware of for a very long time, some come in later on. Like this evening, for instance. I never knew that this being, was going to present themselves. When I prepared for this meditation this evening, I was going to do something completely different. I had planned it out, for the last several days. As I went into the meditation and to the visualization of the beach, things changed. And suddenly, this beautiful golden being appeared. It was not in my mind, at all. Not at all. This is who came through, and this is who needed to be with us at this time. They had their reason, they had their purpose to be with us. And we have received the benefit and the blessing, of this being and of this time. Whatever you experienced, whatever revelation you may have had or experienced, keep it with you. Let it be of aid and of service to you, to assist you, to guide you, to offer more clarity to you, comfort as needed. If it didn't happen immediately or so, sometimes we receive later on. Don't be disappointed if you didn't experience much of anything. Later on, it may come to be. Whatever is meant to happen is what happens at the moment. It is always a learning experience, always a teaching for us that we need to be cognizant, we need to know. What we can do is to reflect upon it and see what it is that we have gained, or what we have to gain. And more will be revealed as time moves on. So, I hope that you all received, a blessing and you feel more refreshed and more present. I know I certainly do. I feel much more relaxed than I did when I started. And hopefully, similar with you. It is a benefit, one way or another. So, moving along, just do, your meditations as much as you can, whenever you can. It is always of help. It always makes you more present. It makes you more attuned, more aware of things in the world. Offers you comfort and light. So moving on to things, as I said earlier, this is a holy weekend. So do, realize that you can join in with this energy to be of help, to offer you strength, to offer you courage, as needed, to connect more and more, to learn more, as well. We're always learning. We never stop learning. use it at this time. I know that later on I will reflect upon this experience and see what happens. When you go to sleep this evening, you should be having wonderful dreams. Let's see what opens up because of this experience for you this evening. Listen to your dreams. They reveal much to you. See what happens that could be derived from this very experience later on, or goes into your subconscious. You may receive messages that are well needed, answers to questions that you may have had for a long time. You may receive visitations as well from loved ones in the spirit world, from other guides or those who are near may come through for you as well. If you remember your dreams well, I suggest that in the morning when you awake, write down what you experienced immediately while it's still fresh in your mind. So have, a book, a piece of paper, and a pen next to your bed, this evening. So should you have an experience in the middle of the night, jot it down, write it down immediately, even if it's just a few words, whatever you can remember. Who was in the dream? What happened in the dream? What was the color of the dream? Was it dark? Was it light? Was it positive? Did it have a negative feeling to it? What was present in the dreams? Where were you? What did you see? What stood out? How did it make you feel? What experienced? What did you learn, from it? When you wake up fully the next day, you can expound upon that further. You can write more down as you remember it, or look back at your notes, as well throughout the day. Whatever you remember all of a sudden, write it down. Write down what comes to you. Sometimes we don't remember everything at once, but later on during the day or so, you may reflect upon the dream, remember something, and then, oh, that happened in that experience last night, or in that dream, or in those dreams I had last night. Quickly, write it down. Don't just, forget. And then, later on, you may want to try to write it down, and then it's gone. Sometimes dreams can be fleeting, or experiences in dreams can just leave us. So you want to try to wake up as quickly as we can if possible, or fresh in the morning or whenever you wake up, and write down what you experienced immediately. Put the paper down, do what you need to do. As things come together later on in the course of the day, as more, information comes through, more memories of the dreams come through or whatever, go back to your page as quickly as possible and write that down as well. And then start connecting the parts, start connecting the dots, see how it relates to you. See if there's any messages that are significant, anything that corresponds to what's going on with you currently here in the physical world. See if any answers come through for questions that you may have, for problems that you may have. See if anything is there that can relate, that can provide you some guidance, some knowledge to help out with solving any problems or issues you may be having. Dreams are there to help us. They're there to guide us. Those in the dream world, are there mostly to help us as well. Even you may have a negative experience in a dream, even a nightmare or so. Very frightening, not comfortable. We don't like to try to remember that when we wake up. But something significant may be occurring there that you may to be paying attention to. And information that is vital for what's happening here in the awake world may come through that experience nevertheless. Write it down also and see how that connects with what's going on with you currently in the world, and see if it offers some sort of help, illumination for you, something you may need to change, a habit, a thought process, a feeling. Sometimes learning lessons are not the most pleasant. And sometimes negative dreams may come in because the only way that we will listen and we will get it. They're not necessarily meant to harm us, but they can be a teaching tool that we can use, and applied correctly can help us to solve problems, concerns that we may be having, or lead us in that direction. All dreams are valuable. And if you're one of the lucky people, you may get even a prophetic experience, a vision, from that dream that could tell you something more, could give you a sign of something to come, of something significant to be mindful of, to be watchful of, also. Those can happen as well. In fact, I had an experience about 3 weeks ago, which is kind of rare for me. It was more like a prophetic dream. I don't have those very often. When those come through, they're usually more vivid, more tangible than the usual, dreams that we may have. They're more significant. They have a different texture, a different feeling. They make more sense. They're more coherent than a regular dream when it occurs. So about 3 weeks ago, I had such a dream. They usually happen like very late, in the night, what we can call, twilight, or so at least for me. Again, I don't get them very often, but when I do, they are usually very significant and are very telling. And they do eventually turn out in one way or another to come true. For me, they're messages, they're signs. They're meant to tell us, to be aware, to wake up, to see what's happening or what's coming ahead, also. This dream happened about, as I say, 3 weeks ago. It's Wednesday to Thursday morning, actually. As I say, I estimate like around perhaps like close to 5 a.m. or so, around that period of time, as I saw later on when I awoke from it. But I remember that my mother and I were in a new place to live. It was like a village, and it seemed rather rustic, this place, but also, from what I gathered, well known to many. Also, it was a famous area we had moved into. And I remember it had the feeling of the 18th century, even though it was very much in this era. But the essence of this place, of this village, was very 18th century. You could almost say that it was like during the time of the Amish. It had that type of feeling, of look to it. And there were many people who lived in this village. And for some reason, Mother and I happened to move into this place. It had a very strong spiritual connection. So remember that we went into this cabin. That's what it looked like. It was kind of dark, all wooden. So it was wooden walls, wooden roofing. It had rafters, from the style and period of that era when people used to build their homes of wood. And they still do, of course, as well. We see that happening in the woods or so. So it was kind of that type of environment. So we went into this cabin-like, structure, which appeared to be some sort of a meeting hall. It was kind of dark. And there were some people there. And apparently there was this experience that was supposed to be happening, that we were all waiting for. It was monumental, something tremendous that was going to happen. It was going to affect the whole world. And this was just prior to the COVID, virus experience exploding into what it has become. So I was already cognizant that, we were heading into something major, in the world. So this was a precursor to all of this happening, and this has manifested in the last 3 weeks, as we know. But at that time, I wasn't sure exactly how this was going to happen, to what magnitude it was going to develop. So basically, we were in this room and there were some people there that were waiting. They were important people, obviously. They seemed to be spiritually oriented. They said, well, the time is coming. We're waiting. And it seemed like we were all waiting, and we knew, and even Mother and I knew, that it was foretold that the Savior, that Jesus was coming into the world again. But we didn't know, and they didn't know exactly to what way or what degree, but something of tremendous change or tremendous significance was going to happen, and that Jesus was going to return. So here's Mother and I. We're quite happy, we're smiling. It wasn't a frightening experience or so, or daunting, or something looming with fear or whatever. We were there, but there was a sense of anticipation. And as we were in this space, I happened to look over. There's a table, a wooden table that we expect, again, for the architecture in that period of time, with chairs, wooden chairs there. There was a corner. It was kind of dark. And at this table, it was like a table where people would come together to meet to eat, to have dinner or so. And at the end of the table, at the wall, and there was a column of wood, there behind it, behind this chair. I look, and all of a sudden, there was Jesus, sitting there. And these people that were there, they knew. And we all had the feeling that, oh, Jesus has come already. He's, preparing himself. So he hasn't announced that he's really officially here yet. But he is already starting to manifest. And he's come early in preparation. So as I look over, I see this figure of Jesus, or this person who is Jesus, sitting there right in this chair, all in wood, very simple, wearing reddish robes. And he looked very identical to the depiction of Jesus as we see in Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper. So that was impressive to see. So he's sitting there looking just like that artistic expression of Jesus, but come to life. He was animated and he was alive, but he looked like a painting come to life. So he was sitting there and he wasn't looking at anyone. He was sitting there at a distance from the people that were there. And that's the way it needed to be. He wanted to be. He didn't want to communicate. He wasn't communicating with anyone directly yet. But at the same time, he let us know through sense that he is starting to arrive. And everyone was there, very respectful, happy, but waiting. We were all waiting. And he's just sitting there. He was not looking at anyone or any of us. I was a bit of a distance from him. And he just kept staring and moving his head from one direction to another, just staring outward, but not looking at anyone. But you could feel his presence and look in his eyes. And he had these beautiful blue-gray eyes, that he was aware of everything and of everyone present and throughout the world, even though he was not communicating directly or acknowledging us directly. But I had this sense of warmth and the sense that he was aware of everything, of all of our thoughts, all of our feelings, of everyone. He was in preparation, getting ready to come out unto the world to speak. And I was looking at this, and my mother was looking as well. She was standing next to me, and we were smiling and we were excited. Oh my God, this is going to start to happen. It's coming. It's coming. And then we kind of stepped back, and Jesus was over there because it wasn't ready yet. And we stepped back and we moved away, and people were content and anticipating, his arrival, and whatever significance that he was bringing into the world was coming soon. And we left with smiles on our face and a sense of something good is going to come, something is going to happen. We don't know exactly in what way or so, but something good is going to come. Something significant is about to happen very, very, very soon. And as we left this cabin, the space or whatever, that's when the experience came to an end. And I woke up. And I woke up and I felt very happy. And I felt very positive. And I was smiling, as I was waking up, which is not usually what I experience when I wake up in the morning. But I was smiling, and I could remember this vividly. And I had a sense of something good is going to happen, something tremendous, despite the negativity that's approaching with this virus and whatever is just going to happen or whatever. But there's something positive and powerful that's going to take place also because of this as well. And it will come. It will come. And that's what I felt, right after that. And that was that prophecy experience, which I had. So throughout this experience that we are having now with the virus and all the terrible tragedy of so many thousands of people leaving, us and in the ways that they're leaving and the grieving that's taking place with families and loved ones, and all of the suffering that's happening, and all of the suffering that's taking place in the hospitals and the clinics. So much pressure that all of the providers, the nurses, the caretakers are undergoing, and it's so terrible what they're going through as well. And everything else that's that's surfacing now as well. Despite all of this, this is meant as a cleansing. This is meant, believe it or not, it is meant as a healing. But we have to go through this first. And those who are leaving, it is their time for them to go. This was their time to leave. And as painful and as horrible as it is, and I've had a few people that I know, that have left, as well, because of this experience also. And several of my friends have had family members leave, and friends, dear friends of theirs and acquaintances leave because of this virus as well. This is a terribly painful experience that they're all going through, and that we are all going through. But it is meant for a reason. There is a purpose to this. This just didn't happen randomly. There is a reason why this is happening at this time. We may not know the answers right at this moment, right at this time period, but it is coming. It is coming. And we will start to see it. And there's more to come. And it does not necessarily mean it's going to be difficult. More is to come. And we could be absolutely stunned at what is coming. I don't know what it is, obviously. But from the prophecy which I received, that prophetic vision that I received, and whenever I've had these in the past, they've come true. Not necessarily the way they presented during my experience, but they have come true. And it has been a positive and helpful. Always. So with this will start to happen. It is going to take a while, however. But there will be something that's coming that's going to be tremendously impactful. It will make tremendous change upon this world and upon this existence. And those of us who are here, who get to remain, will get to experience it and get to see it and help make that change as well. So it is imperative, it is important that everyone stays strong and looks positive for this, for the future, because it is coming. And we will all understand once it reveals. We will know and we will understand and we will see. So with that, I'm going to leave you for this evening. I do hope that you found this experience beneficial, that it was helpful, for you. I hope it was healing for you as well. That is always my wish whenever I do, this experience here that we're having. And I do hope that you carry this energy, with you, that it helps you, that it helps make you stronger, more courageous, and more believing, more open, as well. So please take this with you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me this evening. And I will see you again, hopefully in the next few days. All right. So for all of you, good night. Take care. Blessings always. Good night.